That's why it's not. She was sitting the closest to it.
So they're going, and then, yeah, after they're done, before they go, yes.
Oh shit, but that'd be quick.
All right, you ready?
Yeah.
Quiet, please. William, you recording? Shh. 3, 2, 1.
Hello and welcome back to the Final Whistle. I'm your host, Drew Ziegler, and I'm here with James Gougosis. Today, we're going to talk about the previous Elite 8 matchups, as well as giving our predictions for the Final Four in this year's March Madness. So first, going over the Elite 8 games, this game was not a good one. UConn, the number 1 seed in the whole tournament, destroys number 3 seed Illinois 77-52, and in that game went on a 30-0 run, just total domination.
Yeah, I think Illinois played really well in the first half. UConn was not shooting well at all, but in the second half, I mean, Donovan Clingan really took over the game. Illinois didn't have any options to stop him. Coleman Hawkins is not good enough defensively to stop him, so that's what I expected from the entire game, but a 30-0 run was definitely something I wasn't expecting.
Yeah, they're just like so much of a better team than everybody else. I feel like just their off-ball movement, they just work so well together as a team, and their chemistry is top-notch. And Terrence Shannon in that game, Illinois' best player, held only 8 points, shooting 2 for 12 from the field. Now next game, number 4 Alabama defeats number 6 Clemson 89-82. A bit of an unexpected matchup, but those teams made it far in this tournament, and Alabama had the upper hand in this one.
Yeah, Alabama getting P.J. Hall in foul trouble was huge for them. He's obviously the best player, and that's been a problem all year for P.J. Hall, is getting in foul trouble. I think he fouled out in like 8 or 9 games this season, which is a very high number. So I think that was definitely the game plan for Alabama, and as long as they knock down their threes, I think they're always going to win this game because they live and die by the three. So it's a good game plan by Bama.
Yeah, knocking down their threes is exactly what they did, shooting 44% from 3. And on the other side of the bracket, just a Cinderella run that we're witnessing. Number 11 NC State beats their ACC foe, number 4 Duke, 76-64, and DJ Burns was the headline in that game, putting up 29 points in the win.
Yeah, DJ Burns had a quieter game against Marquette, but really showed up big time when they needed it. Duke didn't show up. Besides Jerry McCain, Duke did not show up at all. I think Tyrese Proctor had 0 points. Filipowski wasn't really a factor. It's really sad. I think that team definitely, when you looked at the beginning of the tournament, they didn't really have that much expectations, but when you're playing an 11 seed for a trip to the Final Four, that's a must-win game, and there's just no excuses for Duke. And NC State, I mean, to think about, they were a miracle shot in the quarterfinals of the ACC tournament to carry their season on, and now they're all the way to the Final Four. It's just unbelievable. I think NC State has been arguably one of the better teams in this tournament, obviously in the Final Four, but it's something you just don't expect.
Yeah, they're not looked at as an 11 seed anymore. They're one of the top teams, obviously, making it this far. And for Jared McCain, another 30-point game in the tournament, very possibly could declare for the NBA draft or could come back another year for Duke and be that top player for them. And the last game of the Elite 8, number 1 Purdue beats number 2 Tennessee 72-66. It was a great game, but between really Edey and Connect, but Edey had the upper hand, putting up a career-high 40 points, and he also had 16 rebounds in that game.
Yeah, I mean, Edey really dominated that game. I think it was kind of expected, and he's the best player in the country, even though whether you like it or not, you got to admit he's the best player in the country. And I think it's just going to be really tough for any team in the Final Four to be able to stop Edey. And in this game specifically, I mean, he got to the line 22 times. It just shows they were just feeding him. Obviously it was going to be their game plan, but the fact that he got 22 free throws really helped Purdue.
Yeah, and all these games in the tournament, Purdue getting a lot more free throws than the other teams. The plan is just to continue to foul Zach Edey, hopes he misses free throws, and Connect also in that game, 37 points, but it just wasn't enough as Purdue gets the win. And now when we come back, we will be giving our predictions for the upcoming Final Four and the national championship game. Do we stop or we just continue?
Just continue. No.
Just do the last part. You can just go down. A little bit further and then you're good. Yeah, it's good. Thank you.
Good.
Thank you, Phaedra.
You ready?
Yeah. And now to our final four predictions. For you first, you have UConn beating Alabama and Purdue beating NC State. Talk about those matchups a little bit.
Yeah, UConn, I think, is just more talented team than Alabama, and I think they'll be able to defend the three, which Bama dies from if they can't make threes. And I think Donovan Clingan just be the playmaker in that game, and I think UConn will win easily. And for Purdue against NC State, I think Purdue has been the clear second best team in this tournament. I don't think people want to admit that, but it's definitely the case. And I think Edie will be able to defend DJ Burns, and I think Purdue will roll past NC State.
Yeah, for me, I've also got the same predictions. As you said, the top two teams, but I do think that game between Purdue and NC State will be close. And UConn, I just said earlier, the clear-cut best team. And I think they're going to win the whole thing when they match up against Purdue in the national championship game. And Dan Hurley, just the best coach in the country as well, with the best team. And that's why I think they're going to get it done in the final game.
Yeah, I got Purdue, and because mainly of Zach Edey, but also another big reason is because UConn, even though they've been dominating these games, they haven't been shooting well from three this tournament. And I think Purdue can defend the three, and I think Zach Edey can neutralize Donovan Clingan, who's been their playmaker this tournament. So I think with Edey being able to stop Clingan and Purdue's ability to be able to defend the three, I think Purdue can definitely win this game, and I think they will win this game. I think Edey will have a big game, definitely be the MVP of this tournament. He's been the best player in this tournament. And, yeah, I think Purdue will finally, after losing to a 16 seed last year, I think they'll beat UConn.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see the game plans that NC State also has against Zach Edey, whether it'll be different than other teams or even if there is a game plan possible, because he's just so dominant and he'll get to the free throw line either way. And that's going to do it as March Madness is coming to an end, but there are still 4 teams remaining, and we will find out who goes to the championship Saturday night and then the national championship on Monday night. So thanks for watching The Final Whistle.